Peace be with you. As we've now celebrated the great mysteries of the Christmas season and are now completing the very short time called ordinary time leading us to Lent, it's time to look ahead to that very special season that begins on February 13th with Ash Wednesday. Even though Ash Wednesday is not a holy day, it's probably one of the best attended days throughout the Catholic world, because the symbolism of the placing of ashes, the beginning of the season of penance, the start of our immediate preparation for the great feast of Easter, all seem to touch people in remarkable ways. And in fact, as you probably know, the season of Lent is a very special time for those who are preparing to be received into the church at the Easter Vigil, either those who have already been baptized and will simply make their profession of faith and be confirmed, or those who are receiving the full initiation of baptism, confirmation, and the first reception of the Eucharist. And so it's certainly a time to invite parish communities to particularly be concerned and pray for those who are making that journey, for their sponsors, for the teams that work with them. It's also a time in which, as we look ahead to this year of the new evangelization, the year of faith, it's also worth keeping in mind that there are many things about our faith that even those who profess to be Catholic don't really understand, don't really take part in. Recently I had the opportunity of going to a conference in which part of the presentation was simply examining by a very detailed survey that was done how many people within the average parish community actually respond to their faith in a committed way. And the general consensus was that regardless of the size, it seems to be about 7%. And that 7% is certainly a small number. So the encouragement is that those who are active, and certainly members of our order, would fall into that category, because so many things that our order does give men the opportunity of continuing in the growth of their faith. And so the suggestion that's made, that is an important one, is to increase prayer, increase study, generosity, and evangelization, sharing faith. And perhaps that might be something to consider as we enter into this season of Lent this year, during the year of faith, to think of ways in which perhaps by inviting that new member, one member per council per month, gives those men an opportunity to grow in their own faith, just as those who are active in our order now have done. And so I encourage you to consider that both individually or perhaps through some concerted effort within your council activities during the weeks ahead, the weeks that are the springtime of the church each year, the season of Lent. Vivat Jesus.